Hi and welcome to another episode. I hope everyone's had a wonderful festive period and a good start to the new year. What I'm going to be doing today is showing off the different retro type things I got for Christmas. Obviously I'm starting off with this. This is the Mega Drive Tower Mini. Basically it's just bits of plastic. You've got a cartridge, the adapter, 32X and the Mega CD or Sega CD if you're in America. The reason I got this is because, as you know from a previous episode, my wife bought me the Mega Drive Mini and I wasn't allowed to play with that until Christmas. You saw a video because I was testing it worked, but since this is just a bunch of plastic, it was okay just to wait until now. I will be doing unboxing of this, it's just to show what I've got. Obviously I also got the wireless gamepad as well. So on to the next thing. Now I did drop some heavy hints about this one. Luckily my wife did get it for me. Basically it shows you how to program in Python for a few different games. It's made by the Raspberry Pi people. I haven't opened it up just yet. I'm not going to open it up until I decide to start reading it. I think what I might do is actually show a bit of progress every now and again, a lot later down the line in the year, of how far I've got using this. Another book that my wife got me was the Compendium ZX Spectrum Games of Volume 1 by Kieran Hawken. Now I do like the Spectrum. I'm still hoping on getting the Spectrum next in a couple of months. But it mentions lots of different specky games. And then another book she got me was the Fusion Annual 2020. So there's a nice little calendar here. I've got so many calendars this year, I don't know where I'm going to stick them all. So there's some nice pictures in there. This also came with the Fusion ZX copy of the bi-monthly magazine. So obviously some nice Spectrum stuff in there as well. And then of course the annual itself, which covers lots of different things. Nice and glossy, nice little annual for reading. Retro Man Cave did his little bit. And I'm sure there's other people that we know as a collective, but I haven't read this yet obviously. It's a nice little bookmark. We also got a couple of badges or pins if you're American. So as I say, my wife got me all of this so far. And so, as I've already spoken about the Fusion Annual, my wife for the past couple of Christmases has bought me the subscription. And this time around she got me the binder that you can get for these. They all just fit in. You pull on this bit of string, feed into the center of the magazine. As you can see here, there's the string. You feed that into there, and then it stays in there. It does stretch out quite far, so you shouldn't have to rip it. It's a bit fiddly, but it's doable. Hopefully the next two fit in, as I say. So let's on to the next present. I'm sure you can guess what this one might be, but this is the Fusion 64 bi-monthly magazine. Obviously the Fusion, I've said bi-monthly a couple of times now, the Fusion magazine itself is bi-monthly, but there were some special copies that were put out for the annual, which you got the ZX one with it, and then for this annual, which you'll see in a minute, you got a copy of the 64 version. And obviously this is going to be the annual that it came. It was a nice little key ring there. I've got a calendar. You can see I've not actually opened it up yet. So an even bigger calendar than the last one. So some nice pictures in there as well. Oh, scary that one. You get the idea. Let's move these out of the way so we can have a quick look at the annual. So I never actually got the Zap magazine as a kid because I didn't have a Commodore 64 as a kid, but people who know me and have been watching this channel, you know that I've got a Commodore Ultimate 64, which my wife also bought me in previous Christmases. And what we've got here, oh, nice map to Tir Na Nog. And a few quick glances inside the manual. That's that Llamasoft guy, which I always forget his name. Oh, and there's some level cheats and things like that for tips. For Sid FX, I have no need for that because I have an Ultimate 64, but from what I hear, it's a good thing to slap into a real motherboard of a Commodore 64. And there we go. It talks about the free 64 magazine that you can also get. I've not actually got a copy of that, but so lots of interesting things for the Commodore 64. And then on to the next present. You might have seen one of these on other channels. It's called a Red 5 Retro Mini Controller. 200 built-in games, connects straight to your TV. I haven't taken it out of the box yet. Well, yeah, it says 200 mini games in one. It's a tiny little thing. It has to be because it's in this tiny box. I mean, that's the size of my hand. And basically, it's just got composite and just mono audio. But it's it seems to be lots of games that I've never even seen. It doesn't seem to be actual SNES games, or not SNES games, Nintendo Entertainment System games or Sega Master System type games, but it looks sort of that sort of era. Well, I'll do a proper episode on this at a later date because I need to find the cable and everything like that so I can capture it. But on to the next present. Lemmings, I hear you say. Didn't you just do a big video on that? Well, yes, I did. But annoyingly, when I put that video out, it was pointed out to me that Lemmings 3D was one that I was missing for the PC. So my loving wife found the box set. It happens to have the other two, so I already have the paintball and Windows Lemmings for Windows, but they're actually better quality than what I had initially. But here we have the Lemmings 3D. So let's pop this open, and then this is what the disc looks like for this. It says, it's kind of silvery and it actually says 3D, 3D, 3D in a little ball all of the time, same as what's on the red one there. So that's very nice of her for getting that. Let's put these back in here. But she also got me STOS Maestro Plus and STOS Sprite 600. Again, as you've seen in previous episodes, I had STOS and Amos, but I didn't have these. So she's kindly bought me these for Christmas. And let's have a look at the gadget that's in here, because it has a cartridge. So you've got the audio cable, which is RCA to 3.5mm mono. And there's the cartridge that goes into the side of the ST, so that you can record your own sounds. Program disc and samples disc. So I look forward to getting to play around with that at some point. Put the manual back in. Of course the manual goes in there. Let's have a look on the back. And it blah 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 blah. Awful lot of information, which I'm sure you can see nice photos of that online, but it says it requires an Atari ST with a colour monitor. And you can create pulsating drum patterns with an animated drum software written in STOS Basic. So sounds interesting. So the last bit of STOS that I think I need now is STOS 3D. I have Amos 3D, but I need STOS 3D. So that'd be nice to get my hands on that at some point. I've been spoilt like I always do. But as always, happy gaming. Well, I was about to finish editing for this video and my wife came back from shopping 2 players retro console plugs directly into your TV with over 400 16-bit games. Obviously, it looks a bit like a Famicom. It says Orb Gaming video game system. It looks like it's got 9-pin plugs on the end. I'm covering up this bit over here because that's got the actual price on it. Now, my wife has handed it me and said, you know, belated Christmas present sort of thing. It was £35. Now, I realise it's just a present and stuff like that, and it's just a quick gift sort of thing, so she's not too worried about me knowing how much it costs. But initially, before Christmas, it was £35, but in the January sales, £10.50, 70% off. So there will be a video to this all by itself in the future.